once again grips the club. It's a great moment for Swindon as they keep the FA Cup flag flying in the West Country. They're our last remaining hope for Wembley. Here's Ian Seymour.
Yes, Bob, thank you. Keep the home fires burning. And you can't help feeling excited, can you, about Sunday, because Swindon do have a real chance of reaching Monday's fifth-round draw. Certainly it's been the only talking point in Swindon this week and last, but the talking will have to stop at 1:30 on Sunday when the teams take to the field. Well, Leeds' last cup game against Telford in the third round received massive media attention. 300 policemen on a neutral ground to allay fears of trouble from the Leeds fans. Tomorrow, alas, a similar scene. Swindon will have 200 policemen on duty in and around the ground. Coaches will also be checked. It's an all-ticket game, so they'll be checked too, and this operation will be costing the club over £2,000. On the pitch, Swindon will be well advised to mark Leeds' top scorer Ian Baird. That was him heading there. He single-handedly beat Telford with 2 goals on an icy pitch. Leeds, currently managed by Billy Bremner, are in the upper half of the second division and will be a tough nut to crack, but not impossible. Swindon say they're not going to change their match technique by snuffing out single strikers.
I think in cup ties you can never set out to mark anyone in particular, and I think cup ties in particular have got a habit of throwing up an individual who possibly hasn't played before for a team and he scores the winning goal. There's always a fairy tale attached to a match, and it'd be foolish to look at the Leeds team and say, well, look out for him or look out for someone else, because cup football doesn't happen like that.
A lot of publicity about you saying to the Leeds United fans that do unfortunately have something of a bad name, that they're very welcome here. A little word to the fans, because it's going to be a full house.
It will be, and to be perfectly truthful, I think there's more people coming to the game from television and from press that don't normally go to football matches. And they're certainly not coming to see 11 Swindon players and 11 Leeds players. I think we all know what they're coming for. We can make the headlines on Monday morning for all the wrong reasons. And I think it's up to both sets of supporters to make sure that that doesn't happen, and that the only talking point on Monday morning is the game itself.
Hear, hear. Well, Swindon can take heart from this Telford goal. It was a well-worked move. Final shot not exactly a scorcher. The Swindon skipper tomorrow will be breaking, though, new ground. Well, Colin, I think I'm right in saying that you've never ever reached the fourth round of the FA Cup in your, I suppose I should say, short career, because you're still only, what, just 22?
Yeah, that's right. The furthest we ever got with Mansfield or Swindon was the first or second round before, so even the last round, the third round, was a new experience for me.
Do you get a little bit of extra butterflies for a big cup match like this?
Well, I suppose everyone does, because of a bigger crowd. It's a one-off game, and I suppose that adds to it, but really, the crowd being it'll be double the size probably. That'll add to our tension.
Well, certainly tension midweek in that Freight Rover thriller. But Jimmy Quinn, who played Leeds earlier this season while at Blackburn and won 2-1, has been settling the tummies.
Well, they're a very good footballing side, and they've got a lot of good players, but I should imagine the strike force would be the ones to watch out for on Sunday. They've got Andy Ritchie up front, who used to play for Man United, and Ian Baird as well. And they've both been scoring a lot of goals this season, so I think we better keep an eye on those two.
Leeds beatable?
Oh, of course, if we can stop them playing football, which I'm sure that Lou Macari will be having us doing, I can't see any reason why we shouldn't get a result.
Well, Quinn scored his first goal since rejoining Swindon last Sunday. His height in the box could be crucial. Like Quinn, former Leeds manager Don Revie thinks Leeds have a difficult task ahead.
Well, I have a great regard for Lou Macari and the Swindon manager. I think he's built a youthful side together. They got promotion last year, going well this year in the championship race in the third division. And I think that's a very, very difficult match. And if Billy brings them back to Ellen Road, it'll be a great performance. Make no mistake about it. That's a very difficult cup tie.
Well, there you are. When Don Revie talks, people listen. Feeling pretty disappointed today. They're out of the FA Cup, having had, what, 75% of the play against Leeds United last night. And Billy Bremner, well, he must be laughing quite literally all the way to the bank, because 2 own goals from Swindon put Leeds into the fifth round. Well, in all, 14,000 fans turned up to watch the game at the county ground last night. All-ticket affair, which resulted in one of the biggest police operations ever mounted by the Swindon police. Over 200 officers stopped coaches, checked tickets, gave body searches to everyone entering the ground. Inside a packed house, everyone in good voice, and expectation was high for the Robins fans, and the team really, early on, didn't let them down. In the first few moments, Mark Jones came near to blasting Swindon in front, but there was deflection, and it went out for a corner. Well, Swindon also had their early luck. Neil Aspin sent a superb ball through to Andy Ritchie. Digby off his line. Ritchie's shot, well, phew, just off target, thank heavens. Well, Swindon had most of the early players, I say. Day once again in action, this time denying Lee Barnard. That went out for a corner, and how decisive. Watch Bamber bang straight in the corner of the net. Surely one of the goals of the month off the head of Dave Bamber. Well, minutes later, Swindon should have been 2 up. Wade played the ball to Jones. Jones turned well, his centre was perfect, Quinn's header was perfect. Look what happened. The ball hovered on the line, eventually cleared. How on earth didn't that go in? Well, Swindon's first own goal came off Quinn's head. There it is, and poor old goalkeeper Digby had no chance as it looped into the far corner of the goal, and little wonder the Leeds fans celebrated that gift. Well, then we move into the second half, 12 minutes, in fact. Just watch for Baird in the box. Here comes the centre. Baird gets his head to it. There's a deflection off of Calderwood, the skipper of Swindon. Digby was helpless, and suddenly 2-1, and the Swindon fans were speechless. Not so up the Leeds end. Well, Swindon threw men forward. A great equalising chance fell to Ramsey here. He simply couldn't get his shot away quickly enough. And Day's left foot, well, that denied Quinn coming up just before the final whistle.
Obviously we were unlucky, but you know, there's no point keep going on how unlucky you were. We gave them the game. I said to the defenders before the game, they can win us a match tonight. They lost us it.
No, you don't like talking about referees or anything, but there were a couple of what suspiciously looked like handballs in the Leeds penalty area.
Well, they could have been, but you know, we're clutching at straws if we go to that. I thought on the night we were the better team. We should have scored 4 or 5 at least. We didn't put them away, and they would get punished for it.
Lou Macari speaking there, and looking at those pictures, well, it seemed to me that Swindon was just a bit unlucky.
So, as they could so easily have won. Swindon came out charged for the big occasion. They overran Leeds in the opening quarter of an hour. From the 4th corner in 5 minutes, Mark Jones' thundering shot bounced off the Leeds keeper. Minutes later, a neat turn and a quick pass from Jimmy Quinn allows Lee Barnard to cut inside the defence, but Mervyn Day produced the first of many good saves. After 11 minutes, the pressure paid off. Dave Bamber timing his header perfectly, leaving Mervyn Day with no chance. Swindon didn't ease off at all, and 5 minutes later could so easily have scored a second. The ball comes wide, a Mark Jones cross and a Jimmy Quinn header, the ball spinning agonisingly close to the goal line. Leeds clear it just in time, leaving Swindon wondering how they could have failed to score. After half an hour, Leeds got their first corner. Up goes Jimmy Quinn, his header arching gently over Fraser Digby for a desperately disappointing own goal. In the second half, Leeds found their stride a little more. Good control by Johnny Stiles, and his shot almost squeezing in over Fraser Digby. Then 12 minutes into the half, Leeds winning goal. Fraser Digby anticipates the header, but it's deflected by Colin Calderwood, and Digby is left stranded. Swindon threw everything at Leeds in the last half hour, creating numerous chances, but they failed to equalise because of some poor finishing and good goalkeeping by Mervyn Day. With 20 minutes to go, Swindon could have had a penalty. The ball bouncing around in the Leeds penalty area clearly makes contact with John Sheridan's hand. The linesman says yes, but the referee says no, despite the attempts of the Swindon players to persuade him otherwise. So that's the way it stayed, leaving the 3,000 or more Leeds fans delighted to be in the 5th round.